Oh, hi, Reid. Hi, JJ. And hello to everybody around the world. Welcome. We are QOTD, and this is the QOTD Big Show. This is the show where you get to be on the air. You can join us by recording your video answers to our awesome daily questions. All week long, we've been posing questions. You've been giving us some pretty awesome answers, and you've all been voting. And so now's the time where we're going to take the very best answers to all the questions of the week and run them off against each other. It's going to be like a great big fight of some sort. At the end, there will be one great big winner because that's what the Big Show does. So, with all that said, Reid, what's our 7 questions this week?
Well, I'm so glad you asked. If going to a music festival is on your bucket list, we hope it won't be raining cats and dogs. And if you rub your lucky rabbit's foot, you might just catch a cameo of your favorite star, like Ziggy Stardust or Frank Ocean.
It's a puzzle. It's a conundrum. Yeah. I know that there's a pet thing going in there because, well, let's face it, we've got dogs and cats behind our heads, but there's something else magical in there, Reid. I cannot wait to find out. So, with no further ado, JJ, what do you say? Let's kick it off.
Let's do it. Let's get into our first question this week.
So we're going all the way back in the week. This is... What day is this? What question is this?
This would be Friday.
Friday's question. What was your most memorable concert or music festival? It's very fitting. We just had Coachella this past weekend.
It's still on, you know.
And yeah, there's going to be a second weekend. And actually, Frank Ocean's not going to be in it anymore. I don't know if you guys saw that.
No.
Yeah, it's Blink-182 now.
Do you know, Blink-182 is opening for my favorite act, Two Friends.
Of course. They should have had Two Friends headline Coachella.
What's that?
They should have had Two Friends headline the whole weekend.
They are. They've got prime spot. They're on at like 11 o'clock this weekend.
Oh, wow.
And 82 is before them, as is Blondie. I'm very excited because, you know, I got a connection to that band. I like those guys a lot. But with no further ado, you guys now know what's my favorite festival. Let's find out what everybody around the world thought was their best concert experience.
Yes, we have some answers coming in. Let's see some answers.
My favorite concert experience would probably have to be my first concert, which was Green Day, probably 7 or 8 years ago. I was able to go with my dad and my best friend, and at that point I had been a Green Day fan since I was a kid, so that was definitely it.
All right. That's a very, what would we call that? An awesome.
When I went to go see Post Malone in Hollywood, it was my favorite concert, especially because he brought out Justin Bieber at the end, which I did not expect. Made the whole night memorable.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
I've never been to one. Hoping to change that for the next year. The COVID and then after that. So when COVID ends, I'm gonna go to one. Don't know who? I'm going to one.
Yeah, I'm still a little reluctant to be in crowds myself, but you know, it's time for us to move on.
Yeah.
My most memorable concert experience was when I was about 10 years old. I went to my first concert. It was an NSYNC concert, and it was opened by Pink. And the best part of that experience was that Pink wasn't big at that time, so I got to see her before she got huge when she was still an amazing musician.
See, I would have put that in the other order where Pink came before NSYNC.
My most memorable concert experience was seeing Michael Jackson at Madison Square Garden. It was pretty amazing and just what you would expect from a legend like him.
Wow.
One of the great ones.
Yeah, an icon.
I have not been to many, but I would have to say the singer of Bun. I've always loved him, and I was so close to holding his hand, but my arm was too short. Yeah, that. And I met G-Eazy at a car and bike show in Alabama before he blew up. He's a dope person all the way around.
Yeah, it's so close yet so far.
So now is the part of the show where we all vote. pick one of these answers, the one that you think is the most inspiring, or the one that you totally agree with, or the one that you thought was the funniest, whatever, it's up to you. And you vote by clicking on the blue buttons that are across the bottom of your screen. If you're watching us on YouTube, you won't see those clicks on blah, blah, blah. You won't see the buttons on the bottom of your screen, but there is a link in the chat that will send you right over to our site where you can vote. You can also record or send stars, whatever you like, but now is your time where you can vote. Let's pick one of these guys.
Yes, let's do it. A lot of really great concerts. I know that Justin Bieber, especially, my sister was trying to see him, but unfortunately there was some like drama in the background, so she wasn't able to. So Justin Bieber, hope you're feeling okay.
That was recent. I haven't heard in a while.
Yeah.
Like connection with some kind of, various celebrity.
Chris, the hopeful concert goer.
Yeah.
He's like, no one's safe. It doesn't matter who. I'm going to a concert.
Absolutely.
I hope you go to all of them, Chris.
Exactly. For all the concerts that you missed over the course of the last 3 years, just go like one a month.
I hope you see 2 friends.
That's the one. Well, I don't know how to do a lead in, but we have a really great next question.
My fingers are crossed. And you get to see all the concerts you want to see, which I think leads that into our next question. Very well. What is a weird superstition of yours?
Oh, are you guys superstitious?
I'm a little stitious.
Yeah. How about you, JJ?
Yeah, I would say I'm a little bit. I think I don't have a lot of superstitions, but one that I do have is sometimes if I'm like in a certain mood, I'll lock my car 3 times instead of just 2, because I kind of like the double honk. Like sometimes when I get home, I'm just like, I feel like locking my car 3 times. That's not really, I feel like that's less a superstition and more of a habit, but yeah, I do the knocking on wood 3 times. Sometimes I'll knock on my head 3 times because there's no wood around. I heard that's a thing.
Yeah, Trish was saying the same thing about locking the car. I'd never done that before, but I throw salt over my shoulder if I spill salt in the kitchen. Yeah, got to throw it over your right shoulder for some reason. And I also believe that there are omens out in the world. Like if I see like a bird, particular kind of bird, flying over, over the right side of the sky, that's good news.
Yeah, no, I think I also do that. One time I was like, I'm not sure if I'm going to go out this weekend. So if I get a package that contains an outfit I want to wear today, that's a sign that I'm going to go.
It's a universe speaking to you, for sure.
Exactly. Well, I think we have some superstitions coming in from fans, so we can see if they have like our same superstitions or what their deal is.
Okay, a weird superstition that I have is that people can tell what you're thinking even without you saying anything. But it obviously has to be with you two side by side, or at least if you're not physically right next to each other, then at least you have to be able to see their face and see their reaction to external factors. But I feel like we're able to read each other's minds at times.
And that's because there's only 30 people in the world and everything else is just mirror tricks, Devin.
Well, my superstition is number 13 is unlucky.
The Swifties would like a conversation with you.
And that's like
one weird superstition of me would be that whenever something is gonna happen, or I know something that can happen, if I think about it and don't say it, it will happen. But if I say it, then it won't happen.
Oh yeah. This is the Swearingen superstition that I was talking about during the week.
Let me start off by saying, in the world we live in today, I don't know what is real anymore. So a superstitious person is a person who believes in something that is not real or possible. Now, for me, in that sense, I find that interesting because I believe ghosts or everything that has to do with superstition is real in the sense that has to do with the individual. See, if you believe it to be true, then you track that.
So So if it works for you, stick with it. I think that's the.
For some reason, I really believe that if you break glass, you have bad luck for 7 years. My youngest just broke a mirror and, well, he's hooped now.
That's so true.
He's so hoop.
I broke a mirror and then a couple months
My
later.
superstition is a pretty common one. I think everyone's heard about the knock on wood 3 times to get rid of the bad juju. So if someone says something negative or is foreshadowing something bad to happen, I have to knock on wood 3 times in order to let all of that energy out and bring in the good vibes only.
See, I do that whenever you say something good that you want to happen, but now we've talked about it, so that ruins it. So you knock wood to bring the good juju in. Well, guys, it's time for us to vote. Click the blue buttons that are on the bottom of your screen. And is it Devin who does mind reading? Jawad, who's like concerned about the number 13, Martin, who says like, don't talk about things if you want them to happen, you know? That's mine too. Smiley says, whatever, man, there's lots of superstitions, but if it works for you, stick with it. And he has a deeper theory behind it, but I'll leave it short. Sarah, breaking mirrors is just, that's your hoop, right? And then Raman says that she knocks 3 times, you know, for good luck. So time to vote, guys. Click those blue buttons, and if you don't see a blue button, look at the link that's inside the chat. Takes you right to BeOnTheAir.com where you can vote.
Yes, please do. I think, honestly, the one about like making your own superstitions and doing whatever works for you is so true. Because also it's like different superstitions, as we just saw, can be done differently by different people. So it all depends.
I see what you're saying. Yeah, everybody's with you and Smiley, but I just feel like it implies a view of the universe that I don't feel comfortable with. It's either it's saying, hey, the whole universe is all about you, and so we're going to build this universe around your particular theories. And I guess that's sort of a benevolent God thought, so maybe I'm okay with that one. Or it's saying it's just total chaos. Don't even try to like plan ahead. Everything that happens is totally random. And by the way, time not linear. Maybe it's saying that.
I think it's like you create your own destiny. So by doing this superstitious action, you are then creating a result that is preferential to you.
But what if you decide that 10 is an unlucky number and everybody else says 13, and then you go to the supermarket and there's 13 eggs?
But not everybody else is going to the supermarket, you see?
Oh, you mean, oh. So
what I mean? Yeah.
The universe already knows that you're going to the supermarket and is going to send you a message. But why bother sending you a message if it's already determined, right? It can't change your actions. I'm very confused. I want to go to a more comfortable question. A question that makes me feel, you know.
Well, I guess you could say that the eggs that you get sent to you at the supermarket, it's kind of a cameo from the universe. Anyway.
You know, I was going to say the same thing. Totally.
Yeah.
Well, next question. Let's do it.
All right. Next question. What's the best crossover or cameo ever?
Wow. I wonder what the first cameo was. Did like Socrates show up in like some Aristophanes play and everybody's like, oh, he's playing himself. That is so awesome. I don't know. The first one that I can remember though, I don't even know. I'll tell you the one I saw most recently, which was in Schmigadoon, right? It's like everybody's in that.
True. Wait, who was the big cameo?
Oh, I don't want to give it away, but it's like all the actors, all the people who are in the musicals are actually people who are like musical people. Like the woman who plays Galinda in Wicked is in a spoof of Demon of Barber Street in the Schmigadoon I saw last night. So maybe that doesn't count?
I think that counts. I think definitely I've seen that show and there's so many theater people. So I feel like every episode there must be a cameo.
Yeah, that's the way I see it.
Well, I think we have some answers coming in. So let's see if there are some TV shows and movies and things that I should be watching. But also let's see who people really like seeing on screen.
So my favorite movie cameo actually just happened recently in a relatively new movie. In Stephen King's Dr. Sleep, the original Danny from the original Shining actually plays a cameo part in the baseball scene, and he acts as a spectator talking about the young boy that has all of these special powers. So I think that that is probably to date my most favorite cameo, just because we get another glimpse at
Red Rum. If you're a Shining fan.
So, in terms of the best crossover ever happening, it's like a tie between BoJack Horseman and Mr. Peanut Butter's show in BoJack, and then also Archer crossover with Bob's Burgers. I cannot decide, but either of those are definitely my favorite.
That's bizarre. If you're familiar with Archer and Bob's Burgers, I cannot see it.
My favorite movie cameo of all time, confirmed, is Tom Cruise in this movie called Tropic Thunder that came out early 2010s probably. Plays this crazy movie star agent, and he starts singing that song Apple Bottom Jeans, Boots with the Fur. Amazing.
Have you guys seen Tropic Thunder? So funny. That scene that he's talking about.
So my favorite crossover happened recently, but it's kind of a crossover that it's from an old show. So I love Law and Order SVU. I love Christopher Maloney, and recently he has a new Law and Order, and it crossed over with Detective Benson, who is now the captain at
Law and Order, a lot of cross-fertilization going on there.
I think that my favorite crossover has probably been in the Joss Whedon series. He uses a lot of the same actors and actresses, and I think that makes me connect with all of them a lot more. And it's just fun to see them and think of the whole Whedon-verse as being connected.
Brilliant.
I need to watch more Joss Whedon stuff.
So my favorite cameo is when Lucifer, the guy that plays Lucifer, he showed up on the Arrowverse. I felt like that was so cool because finally DC was starting to kind of act like Marvel in a way and combining the worlds. So I love it. I don't know what you think about it, but that's mine.
Yeah. Lucifer's been making cameos since Paradise Lost. So now it's time for us to vote. Guys, click on the blue buttons and talk to us about which one of these you thought was the best. Is it Danny showing up in The Shining 2, BoJack Horseman showing up in something or another, but Archer and Bob's Burgers crossover, Tom Cruise in Tropic Thunder. Oh my goodness, that was really, really funny. Anything in the Joss Whedon universe, lots of Law and Order, and Lucifer first showing up in The Era. If you're DC, Marvel, superhero kind of person, let's click on those blue buttons and tell us which of these people should go to the finals. Which is the one you like the best? I got my favorite. A little torn, but ultimately I had to come down on my favorite.
Yeah. No, there once again a lot of really great answers. So I feel like any of them could work. Let's see who wins.
That's what I would have chosen.
There you go.
Universe speaking to me. I'm going to knock wood 3 times in order to keep this good tradition rolling. But yeah, Tropic Thunder. It was, and it happened when Tom Cruise was at like a total low in his career because of certain controversies that were happening in the outside world. And then all of a sudden he shows up, and not like the hero, charming love interest that he always is. But he shows up. I don't want to give it away. I'm going to give it away. He shows up in a fat suit and he's playing a movie executive, and like totally evil, by the way. And it was so funny. I gotta say, everybody should go watch Tropic Thunder.
Yeah, I feel like I always hear a lot about that role, and I feel like I always hear quotes from that role just like thrown around.
They are.
Some of them are not appropriate for air, but
right.
Well, definitely adding that movie to my bucket list.
Should be top of the list.
Which leads me into our next question. What is one bucket list item that you will complete this year?
The year's half done, almost. A third done.
That's a lot to handle. That's a lot to process right there.
I know, where'd the time go?
I know. Yeah, I feel like there's so many things that I want to do this year. I think we have one answer that might make it into the show this kind of relates to, but I feel like just like furthering my career is kind of the big bucket list item, which is kind of nebulous, but I feel like it's something I want to do and it's something I should do this year. So that's me.
All right. Bucket list. Yeah. Well, so we got 7.5 months. So if you haven't started that workout program or watching Tropic Thunder or learning to appreciate opera or speaking Italian, now's the time. It's not too late. When July 4th rolls around, it's too late. So now's your time.
Yeah. No, I guess now I need to get on Duolingo so I can learn French finally. That's a good one. That's a good one. I'll add that to the list. That's the top. Well, I think we have some bucket list items coming in from viewers. So let's see what they are trying to get done this year before July 4th.
Well, bucket list item will I complete this year? My biggest bucket list item is I want to shoot a show or music video or something for the rap artist Tyler, the Creator. I want to do that really bad. I don't care if it's a festival. I don't care if it's a show, touring opportunity, whatever. I want to do it for him. And I guess as the kids say, I will be manifesting doing that this year.
All right, Tyler, the Creator, I hope you're hearing.
He's in the house tonight.
Oh, Hannah.
Oh, no, Hannah.
Hannah, I can't remember what she said, but it was great.
Yeah, no. I feel like Hannah always has some really good insights and answers. So, can never go wrong with a Hannah answer. Hannah answer.
I think she like reveals a lot. She's not afraid. I think she's very courageous the way she talks about herself and her life in many of her answers.
Mm-hmm. And we you know what? For a show that's about revealing yourself and answering these questions, we appreciate that.
I wonder what happened to that little video.
Yes, I will go check. I'll see if I can find a description of her answer.
What bucket list item will you complete this year? Well, personally, I'm a content creator on TikTok and YouTube. I have 4,000 subscribers on YouTube, but my bucket list item is to hit that 50K. 50K subs, I know I can do it by the end of this year.
Yeah, let us know when you get up to 725,000, Enrique, like us.
Bucket list item that I will hopefully complete this year is going to Paris with my boyfriend. I want to go to Disneyland with him, and then we're going to go to Paris for a few days, and yeah, if COVID doesn't kick in and kick our asses, then hopefully we'll complete it.
It'd be helpful to learn French, like JJ.
Wow, this is actually a really good question because I will be completing an item from my bucket list next week. And that bucket list is I will go to this amazing beach resort in Bohol in the Philippines.
I never vacations.
Yeah,
I'm kind of already doing it. Just making videos and being a freelance videographer, and it's kind of like living my dream. And this is what I want to do. This is what I'm really passionate about. Like, I love making videos. I like editing videos. I love just putting out that content for people. It's really cool. And I really wish I would have started earlier, like in my life. But looking at it now, I'm so blessed and so grateful to even have this opportunity to do this, like what I'm doing right now. And like, this is something that was on my bucket list this year. I'm glad I'm getting to do it. So thank you guys.
Awesome. He's living his dreams. We should all do this. Well, it's time for us to all vote. Are we going to vote for Hawke, who wants to do something for Tyler, the Creator? Hannah, it's a little mysterious. Enrique, he's going to get to 50,000 subs on YouTube. Kylie wants to go to France with her boyfriend. And Cancer Saturn's going to be living the dream. He's going to continue living the dream. Going on a cool vacation. That's what it's the place I've heard of. But it's time to vote. Click those blue buttons. And we'll send one of these people to the finals.
Yes, and once again, if you are not on BeOnTheAir.com voting, you should head over there. You know, you can keep this tab open so you can stay tuned in the chat, but then you can also keep voting. Do we have an answer? Oh.
Right?
Gratitude. Gratitude always wins.
It's like the whole point of bucket list items is to get to where he is, right? We set these like aspirational goals for ourselves, something that you have to work for. That's why you tell yourself that on January 1st. And it should be something that just kind of takes you to where you want to be, how you want to lead your life. I'm very inspired by that one. I'm glad that won.
Yeah, no, it's very, also as a person who's in like production stuff, it's nice to know that you can still make it and do great things in that production world. So, if you are also in production, inspire.
To where we want to go next, because I think it's a tough transition.
Well, I'm sure a lot of people in the world and a lot of QOTDers, their bucket list is to eventually get a pet and be able to take care of one. But the question is, which one do you get? And I think this question addresses that a little bit.
Philosophical quandary for the ages.
Yeah.
Dogs versus cats. Who's the best? And why?
Yeah, I gotta say that, I've got both of them. I got both a dog or two and a cat or two, and I like them all. But I kind of look at my cats as being sort of kinetic art. They're sort of there. But dogs I have a much closer relationship with because I'm just more dog-like. It's just me. And that's kind of what I think a lot of this comes down to is like, who are you? And how is that reflected in your pet choices is what I'm thinking. So just ask yourself, internet, ask yourself, YouTube, ask yourself, Twitch, are you a dog person or are you a cat person? Right? Catching mice or I don't know, what do dogs catch? Balls.
Birds.
Mice or catch tennis balls. Yeah, my dog's gonna catch a bird. My cats are just assassins.
Oh.
No. You have a cat? Holy smokes.
I know. I think I've told my cat story on the air before, but I feel like the other cats that I've come into contact with, they've been chill. But I also was around them for an hour or two, so maybe they were just putting on good face for me. Well, I think we have some opinions coming in from viewers about which they like better. So I think after this, we will have a definitive, entirely clear winner of dogs versus cats. Let's see what they say.
I say neither dogs nor cats. In fact, I think bunnies are the best. And why? Because they're fluffy and they're very obedient.
I am having a hard time believing that. I mean, not the fluffy part, but the obedient part. Is that true?
Now, my choice is probably pretty controversial to most people, but I'd lean towards cats, even though I do love dogs also. But that is just because I feel like my personality is very similar to a cat. They are very independent, but when they want attention, they'll come over and they'll get it. So they can definitely be brats, but at the same time, they are really sweet. Because my cat, who knows when people are sad, she'll go over and lay with them and cuddle you and just try to comfort you and make you feel better.
I want to see a picture of his cat. Guys, take pictures of your pets.
This is such a hard question for me to answer because I love animals. I guess I would have to say dogs because I've only ever had a dog as a pet. And I think dogs are so cuddly and like, it feels so nice to have something that's like obsessed with you. But also I really love cats. I've just started like obsessing over cats too. I think I relate to cats a lot. I feel like their personalities are very like human-like and they like don't really want to be touched but also want to be touched at the same time, and they're just really like sassy, and I don't know, it's hard to pick. I feel like I'm both, honestly, but probably more towards the dog side just because I've had a dog, so I understand them more. Like, honestly, I'm kind of scared of cats. They're like kind of scary. They're so unpredictable. But like dogs, like they just want to be pet, and like They just want to give you kisses.
All right. So finally, dog, she says.
I like cats way more than dogs. They're independent. I don't have to do too much to keep them going. But I'd rather own a dog. At the end of the day, I'd rather own a dog, which is why my dog is so perfect. A cat dog, the best times. But yeah, cats all the way. And if I can have both, like a cat dog, that's the choice, obviously.
Cat dog.
A cat dog.
You mean a cat?
Dogs versus cat. Who's the best? In my opinion, dogs are better than cats because they're just a lot smarter and a lot more loyal than cats. And basically, that's why I think dogs are better.
What?
He says cats are snitches and snitches get stitches.
Dogs versus cats, and why? For me personally, I like dogs more. But cats are more maintainable. They take care of themselves. But if I had to pick one animal for the rest of my life, it'd be a dog. Because they're the best. They give you unconditional love. Cats, sometimes they don't even give you any attention at all, unless they're hungry. Whereas dogs, they love you no matter what. And you can take them to the park. Can you take cats to the park? You can walk them. Can you walk cats? I mean, you can, but you'd be like 1 out of 1,000 people who does that. So, dogs for the win, man's best friend.
So, it is now time for the rest of us to weigh in. But so far, I'm seeing 3 dogs, 2 cats, a cat dog, and a bunny. Andrew, what are you thinking there? But interestingly, like the cats were from the guys, and I don't know, maybe I'm living with an old caricature of who likes cats. So let's vote, folks.
Let's do it.
Yeah, but I thought that was super interesting. I would like to see the cat dog. I think that what Chris meant was that it was a dog. It was a cat that acts like a dog. I've had one of those. Cat follows you around. Cat will play fetch. You know, those are cool ones.
Yeah.
Makes them cool is that they're like dogs, so therefore, maybe dogs.
Oh, we have a winner. Let's see what the answer is.
The bunny.
The bunny.
The baby bunny. Obedient. What does the bunny do? Does the bunny do tricks? What does it do?
It wins QOTD questions. That's what it does.
Andrew should answer the show your pet doing a trick. I would like to see a bunny do a trick. But that's a good one. We care about our pets a lot. And we're learning about you when you tell us about your cat or dog. Make no mistake. I mean, we're not judging. We like them both.
True. Yeah, I feel like that was a really good, I feel like we had an even split of dogs and cats, but I think the true answer is if you show your pet, which you should always be showing your pet if it's a pet question, you're more likely to win. Take away. Well, I think we have the next question is also kind of a little battle, but I think it's a lot different and a lot more on a grander scale. So I think we can get into that one.
Yes, this one all about sea versus space. Which would you rather go explore? Would you rather go on a space expedition or a submarine one, go into the depths of the ocean? I have a whole tirade about this, so I'll save it. But I just think there's so much we don't know about the ocean, and I just don't understand why we're not exploring it more. Why are we exiting the planet when there's so much right beneath the surface?
JJ, what about you? You say the same thing?
Honestly, when you put it like that, I kind of agree because I think I'm usually a space person just because like I grew up wanting to be an astronaut. And But also, I think one thing I've realized is that space expedition, you're probably seeing a lot of darkness, which I think people might think like, oh, you're seeing nebulas and stars and all these beautiful objects. Space is so big, you're probably just seeing like nothing.
Which is true of the ocean, but the space doesn't have creatures. That's one for the ocean. Also, I grew up wanting to be a mermaid, so I'm biased as well.
That's so nice. It's making me want to cry.
I know.
I'm just kidding. I've got something in the phone. Anyway, I think we have some answers coming in from viewers, so let's see what they have to say on this big topic. I'm excited.
Would you rather go on a space expedition or a submarine expedition? We're going to space on this one. I don't know if you've seen on YouTube. It's YouTube everywhere. There's megalodons are still alive. They're definitely still down in the deep, dark depths of the ocean because they're killing great whites. There's great whites dying. There's someone eating them, and they've got to be megalodons. So we're going to space
because we're terrified of the Kraken. I agree.
It's an easy one. I'd definitely rather go to space than on a submarine expedition, for sure. There is so much weird stuff going on down the bottom of that ocean. I have no care and no want in the world to know what is happening down there. Like that has no interest to me whatsoever. So send me up to space, please.
Yes, we know we could explore the bottom of the ocean, but should we?
Would you rather go in a space expedition or a submarine expedition? Me personally, I would choose space because just the fact that we don't really know much about space, even less than the ocean, and we only discovered about like 10% of the ocean, I will actually, it's more fascinating, to explore space.
Yeah, the numbers work. 10% of the ocean, but what percent of space?
So I am not a good swimmer, and I already have anxiety when I'm watching videos of people swimming or snorkeling or just on the ocean, period. So I'm going to say no to the submarine. Definitely take me into space. Because I'm already an alien. I feel like I can fly. And then, oh my God, can you imagine seeing all these galaxies that we now know are out there? Yeah, definitely space expedition for me.
I love that little offhand comment. I'm already an alien. I love that.
I am terrified of the ocean. So going on a submarine expedition is a hard no for me. I don't like that I can't see my feet. I don't like it. It's creepy. Everything about it's creepy. So I would go on a space expedition before stepping anywhere near a freaking submarine. I don't necessarily think I would want to go to space because it seems scary to me. It seems really cool, but I would much rather float around in the air eating ice cream than to be surrounded by ocean. I don't like, no.
Okay.
No.
Put me on space, baby. Space expedition would be amazing, man, because it's something totally different than what we experience every day. I would love to see what space looks like, what's really going on up there with the Earth and all that stuff. Astronauts, man, put me up there. I would love to be on space, man. It would be a dream come true, and I would love to check it out.
Well,
everyone said space.
So it is now time to vote. Are we going to go for? Everybody said space, but Brendan said it's because there's sea monsters in the ocean. Patrick says, hey, there's weird stuff down there. You got to watch out as well. Mishak says, there's just so much to discover in space. Misha's like, hey, I can't swim, so that's just out. Becca's terrified of the fact that she can't see her feet, much less so than you can't breathe, but Jay Ross says he just loves everything about it. He just wants to go see space. He wants to see what's out there. Well, he is a Star Trek guy. So everybody, let's vote. Let's send one of these people to the finals by clicking the blue button. That's on the bottom of your screen.
The winner will be sent out into space, so choose very carefully.
Carefully. Or on the ocean, and you don't really want to be there. Apparently nobody does except for the Kraken.
Hey, well, we can go out on our own little submarine mission. We'll have some fun.
I do get that. It does terrify me, but Nisha, the alien.
It's already an alien. So
exactly. She'll be right at home.
She's going home.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like everyone mentioned the fact that the ocean is so like deep and terrifying. Space is also much deeper, I would argue, and because of that, probably much more terrifying, but to each their own, I guess.
The difference is, the way that I got it, the difference is that in the ocean, we know there's things with teeth down there, right? And in space, it's in many ways, it's much more under your control, right? If you build a good spaceship that's got to keep your air inside, you're all right. Right, most likely. I mean, maybe you get hit by a meteorite, but you got time. You can plan ahead. It's all very controllable, right? It's about your competency. In the ocean, you could do everything right and still get bit by a shark or by a kraken. So that's what I think is the difference there. If you would want my, analysis.
Good point. Well, it's also like either we'll know about it and we have time to prepare for it, or it's on such a massive scale or on such like a quick scale that honestly it's like we can't even, there's no way you could prepare for it. So it's kind of just like either we'll know about it or just it will be what it will be.
Not what.
Well, we have, speaking of big issues and things coming, we have a very big hot button issue that's kind of continuing our train of like kind of two options, two sides. But this one has a little bit more to do with this thing right here in my hand.
A 2 on that transition, but proceed. Reid, what are we looking at here?
Well, this is the question of this day, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, it is.
Is it ever justified to snoop through someone's phone, and have you ever done it? So people are gonna have to come up front here.
Yeah.
I think I'm trying to think back if I've ever done it, but I don't think so. But I've been with people when I've done the little look over my shoulder, just like if someone's sending a very passionate text, I'm just like, what is occupying you this much? Yeah. But never more than I think the old cursory glance for me.
I don't think that counts. I think you're still safe there. I have 4 kids, and you know what? I've never looked at their phones. Never did. Took a little discipline. Wanted to, because they don't tell me enough. I'm like, well, hey, where are you going? I'm like, out. Who you with? Friends. How great would it be? But I don't do that. I think that's anyway. That's me. Maybe there are good reasons there I'm not thinking about. So
no, I think that's good parenting.
Yeah, well, I think one of our answers might say this, but there is the argument of like, if you go looking for something, you might not like what you find. So I think there's definitely an argument of like, just trusting the other person and just sort of letting their business be their business and not getting involved with it. Although for a parent, I'd imagine it's a little different. Well, I think we have our answers coming in, so let's see what people have to say on this.
Is it ever justified to look through someone's phone? I mean, look, me, would I do it? Absolutely not. I think it's invasion of privacy. Your phone's like a personal diary these days. It stores all your conversation. It's even worse because it stores every conversation you have ever. You know everything about someone looking through their phone. Almost guaranteed. So would I do it? Absolutely not. No, we should not do that. No.
I think he looks anxious, like he's afraid somebody's going to look at his phone.
So I am like a very proud father with like an unreasonable number of kids. And I got to say that I've never gone through their phones. I think that if you are at a place in your relationship where you feel like you got to go through somebody's phone, then you've got problems, right? And they're not going to be solved by whatever you find in there. It's only going to make things worse at best, So no, I don't think it's ever justified. I think that if you feel that urge to do it, you got to take stock and go and talk to that person and like deal with whatever it is that's actually bothering you.
Yeah. But then again, what if they're like collecting,
I have very mixed feelings about this, and I don't entirely know my answer, but I do tend to live with the rule of if you don't trust your partner enough where you feel the need to do something like that, then you shouldn't be with them in the first place. So, yeah. I feel like No, because you shouldn't have to. So.
Yeah. Trust or don't trust. There is no try.
Oh, that's why.
I'm only saying it's not justified because I don't want people looking at my phone. What's on my phone is for my phone and me only. And have I ever done it? Probably. Will I ever do it again? Maybe. Yeah.
Zach, don't do it.
So he only cares about it.
That'd be a big N-O.
What the?
I think snooping through someone's phone can be justified depending on the situation. For example, I'm throwing my mother a surprise 60th birthday party, and I just did a quick little peep through her messages to be sure that nobody mentioned the party when I texted her for her birthday.
All right. Well, there's a nice diversity of answers there. Bill Options just like says no. Bella's like, hey, do you trust that person in your relationship? If not, just leave. But, there's no point.
That's tough. I think if you're suspect of something like that, you do have to confront the person.
Right, but
and if you think they're lying, then, you take it from there. But
Zach says you got to follow the golden rule, which is if you don't want people to look at your phone, don't look at their phone, and you don't want people to look at your phone. Victoria says sometimes it can be justified. Let's find out what you think. Vote by clicking one of them blue buttons that are on the bottom of your screen. If you don't see some blue buttons, you can click the link in the chat. That'll take you over to BeOnTheAir.com, where you will have ways to vote. And by the way, you can also record or, send stars to applaud the people that you love. So let's vote now. But yeah,
lots of good takes on this issue in this round, I think.
This is one that really struck a nerve. People cared.
Very much.
Whoa. All right, so the people say it's justified.
Can be justified. And I started talking about, because we see stuff in the news about, kids doing these heinous acts. And maybe if you knew a little bit more about their private life, you would be able to get them the help that they need and head off that sort of thing. So I guess there's that as a parent. But I think that, once you get out of, the parenthood, area, forget it. There's absolutely no justification for it. I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that. It's if it's that serious, then I think there are other things that you need to do before phone snooping.
Yeah. As a parent, though,
I don't know. I think as a child or as someone who has parents, even it never makes anything better. Like you even said, No. If you want your kid to share more, you're never gonna get through it by going through their phone.
Yeah.
They're just going to find new ways to hide things from you.
Yeah. Well, listen, I love my parents but there was a little bit of not phone snooping, but there was snooping going on back in the day. They wanted to know. They wanted to know everything, but I don't like it.
Well, I think we have all of our winners for this week. We have all 7 questions done and taken care of, and we have all of our winners. So that means it is time for the winners round.
All right. So in the winners round, we're going to give you a quick recap of all the winners of each round, all the videos that you voted as being the best. We'll do a quick recap, and then we'll vote for the best of the best. And then we'll have our weekly champion, because there can be only one, as I like to say, because I'm a Highlander fan. So let's hit it, man. Let's go see what people had to say.
Yes. So, we can do a quick little recap. I know we've been at this for about an hour, so we might need to recap some of the answers, some of the winners. So let's get into that.
I'm kind of already doing it. Just making videos and being a freelance videographer, and it's kind of like living my dream. And this is what I want to do. This is what I'm really passionate about. I love making videos. I like editing videos. I love just putting out that content for people. It's and it's really cool, and I really wish I would have started earlier, like in my life. But looking at it now, I'm so blessed and so grateful to even have this opportunity to do this, like what I'm doing right now. And like, this is something that was on my bucket list this year. I'm glad I'm getting to do it. So thank you guys.
No, thank you, Saturn. Panzer Saturn's answering the question of what's something that's on your bucket list this year.
Let me start off by saying, in the world we live in today, I don't know what is real anymore. So a superstitious person is a person who believes in something that is not real or possible. Now, for me, in that sense, I find that interesting because I believe ghosts or everything that has to do with superstition is real in a sense that has to do with the individual. See, if you believe it to be true, then you track that.
All right, Smile's answering the question. What's a weird superstition that you have? And he said,
my favorite movie cameo of all time, confirmed, is Tom Cruise in this movie called Tropic Thunder that came out early 2010s probably. Plays this crazy movie star agent, and he starts singing that song Apple Bottom Jeans Boots with the Fur. Amazing.
Sam is answering the question, what is a movie cameo or TV cameo that
I think snooping through someone's phone can be justified depending on the situation. For example, I'm throwing my mother a surprise 60th birthday party, and I just did a quick little peek through her messages to be sure that nobody mentioned the party when I texted her for her birthday.
Victoria is answering the question, is it ever justified to snoop through somebody's phone? She says,
so I am not a good swimmer, and I already have anxiety when I'm like watching videos of people swimming or snorkeling or just on the ocean, period. So I'm going to say no to the submarine. Definitely take me into space because I'm already an alien. I feel like I can fly. And then, oh my God, can you imagine seeing all these galaxies that we now know are out there? Yeah, definitely space expedition for me.
Misha's answering the question is, would you rather go on a space expedition or an undersea expedition? She says, take me home to
Never
space.
been to one. Hoping to change that for the next year. The COVID being done after that. So when COVID ends, I'm gonna go to one. Don't know who? I'm going to one.
Hey, you ever going to a festival? And he says, yeah. What's
I
your
say
favorite?
neither dogs nor cats. In fact, I think bunnies are the best. Why? Because they're fluffy and they're very obedient.
Andrew's answering the question, dogs or cats, who's the best? He says, none of the above, bunnies. So now it is time for us to vote for the big winner. Who are you going to send to the great throne where they get a crown or something like that? Whatever, what's the best answer of the week? Vote by clicking one of the buttons on the bottom of your screen. You can click the link in the chat and go to BeOnTheAir.com if you want to see those buttons if you don't already have it.
Yes. Ooh, the big one. Lots of good questions this week. A lot of good answers. A lot of very interesting answers. A lot of takes.
Yeah, I think that we're going to have to throw some extra treats into the question writer cave. Victoria wins. She's talking about phone snooping, and she says, yeah, maybe sometimes. And it's really interesting because we can all say that we would never snoop through, somebody's phone, but, maybe we just haven't yet faced that scenario where you've really got to do it. So maybe the answer is never say never, even though I would say never yet.
Exactly.
So this is the end of the week. It was a really great week. Congratulations to our big winner, Victoria, and to all the people who made it to the semifinals. And frankly, everybody who recorded an answer and made it to the big show. That could be you too. If you go to BeOnTheAir.com, starting in a couple hours, we'll start leading out next week's questions. And you click the orange record button right under the 24-hour game stream to record your own answers to our 7 awesome questions. One for Friday, one for Saturday, one for Sunday, etc. And then finally, when next Thursday rolls around, that'll be your next chance to see yourself on TV right here on QOTD. But so do we know what's coming up? Any like hints or clues for what questions we have coming?
Well, I see the questions at the bottom, and I actually have a good theme for next week, which is hectic hypothetical. So we're talking about we're talking about out of the box theories that you believe in, you know, the weird and the wonderful. We're talking about your dream kitchen, your dream cooking session. We're talking service industry nightmare stories. You're praising your pet, you know, putting them up on a pedestal, crazy parenting, trained service dogs on airplanes, and asking your pet a very good question.
Oh my goodness. So there's some good, I like the pet questions, I gotta say. I like the hypotheticals, the what ifs, the inspires, the best ofs, but I particularly like those pet questions. Well, Reid and JJ, thank you so much. Trish, we missed you. Hopefully we'll see you next week. But for everybody who is joining us, I want to thank you on behalf of the QOTD friends that you see here on.
Mr. Help, I think he just dropped out. Sorry, everyone. I think Keith just dropped out, but we are QOTD and BeOnTheAir.com. We almost made it through a show without the tech issues, but we did have a very good show.
So close.
Yes, so close. But thank you, everyone, for joining us today. It was such a pleasure giving the show today. Thank you again for watching, voting, and recording. We are QOTD and BeOnTheAir.com signing off, and we will see all of you again on TV. Bye, everyone.
Bye.